Hello everybody, Alec Alger, the SideQuest Gamer here, and it's time for another rendition of these crazy days in modern gaming. Now today, I would like to talk about HD remakes versus the originals. Well, technically, they're not remakes because they're still the same game, but they're just polished enough to be different, and the graphics all are updated to look high definition. Although, there are some people who prefer the originals and don't like the idea of HD remakes, kind of like how people were disgusted with the colorization of black and white films. But in my opinion, you can present it either way as long as the original is still there and is still an option. I mean, in the case of the colorization of films, the sacrifice would be the original black and white films, but that's not true for games. Some people look at it as like the George Lucas updating, although I don't see any extra characters in the HD remakes that are just unnecessary and put there for no apparent reason. I mean, Wind Waker HD on the Wii U, that was a fantastic HD remake. Why do I keep using the term HD remake? Well, in this case, not only did they update the graphics, they changed up the gameplay a little bit, like that Triforce trackers, which was a real pain for some gamers, but it's made it a lot easier and more fair to people playing Wind Waker on their first playthrough. There's of course also the Metal Gear Solid HD collection. I was actually very disappointed with it. I mean, of course, this was the first time I ever played Sons of Liberty and Snake Eater, as well as Peace Walker and the original MSX titles, but I looked up gameplay videos of the original PS2 version. I kind of like the original better because HD updates were just unnecessary. And of course they omitted the original Metal Gear Solid 1. Maybe that's best left untouched because even though the graphics didn't age quite well, I still like it for what it is, and I wouldn't want to see it in any other way than what was presented back then. Of course, there's the Eco and Shadow of the Colossus collection on the PS3, which both games have been updated with HD graphics. And, well, it really didn't need it because it still looked fine just the way it is. I mean, the frame rate was decent for its time, and I think the game still held up. I mean, in the case of Eco and Shadow of the Colossus, those games didn't sell quite well for the PS2. I mean, they sold decently, but not as up there as like Call of Duty or something like that. And I honestly would rather play Eco and Shadow of the Colossus than Call of Duty. But these HD remakes give these games a new life as well as better sales and stuff, since gamers out there gave it praise and people were like, why didn't I buy that back then? But honestly, I don't know. I mean, the downloadable Resident Evil Code Veronica HD, I have mixed opinions about the graphics that were updated. I mean, sure, the game didn't age quite well, graphically speaking, but it was, I don't know, the HD graphics really didn't do much better, I'm sorry to say. Then there's the Sly trilogy for the PS3. Now, I love the Sly Cooper games and stuff. Well, why do I mention this? Well, the Sly trilogy for the PS3, which were originally released on the PS2, but this HD collection of the Sly games, I definitely like the cel shadiness, but there are a lot of people who did not, and I can totally understand it. I mean, the black outlines for the cel shaded characters were way too big, in my opinion. But it does give them a more comic book appeal, which I kind of like better than the original trilogy on the PS2. And I've heard reports about the Silent Hill trilogy for the PS3, where like, it may have had some HD upgrade and stuff, but I heard the Silent Hill 3 game was glitched up as a result, probably because of rushed development. I'm not exactly sure. But should video game companies leave these alone and just release them as they were? Yes and no. I mean, yes, because like when Halo 1 was remade in HD, I mean, you could switch between the original graphics and the new graphics, and that's a really fun option. And that's the best part about that game, even though it was an unnecessary buy because the multiplayer was just copy and paste from Halo Reach's multiplayer. But basically, if you never had a chance to play it, might as well get the HD version. Sure, you could go to a used game outlet and buy the used game as well as the used system, but it's entirely up to you as a gamer. So, in my opinion, I'm all for it. I mean, why can't these games have a new life on new systems? I mean, doesn't your younger brother or sister or cousin deserve to play the games you enjoyed as a kid? I mean, it's very nice, especially for those who don't want to buy a used system that may or may not break in the next week, so why not? Thank you for watching this video. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you will, and please share this video to grow my audience a bit. I'd really appreciate that. Thank you all for watching, and remember to stay awesome. Whether you like HD games or not, it's entirely up to you. Comment question. What is your opinion on HD updates versus the originals? Please answer in the comment section below. And I won't waste any of your time, so again, remember to stay awesome.